So Jake Browning said his biggest regret from Saturday's game was the fact that he focused more on it being a revenge game rather than a team win. And I'll be honest with you, I don't blame him for how he treated that game. When you go back and listen to him and he talks about the Minnesota Vikings and how dirty they were to him, how he said he's been cut from multiple different teams, but the Vikings were different because they never told him that they were releasing him. They never told him to even cut him. It really spells into more of a human nature type of thing. When someone does you dirty, your goal or what you want to do is one day get them back. And yeah, did he go a little crazy as he says he lost his mind by smashing a helmet and saying, "You should have never effing cut me"? Maybe a little, but that just shows the passion he has for this game. It shows the passion he has in that moment of how crazy that game was. And you have to remember how crazy that game was. A lot of people, whenever football players go crazy, they're like, "Oh, whoa. Why is he going crazy?" Because this is passionate, man. These guys love this game. They love going out there and winning. They love going out there and leading a team, victory. Go out there and just having a crazy great game, winning it for the fans. But also, some of them, and again, I know Joe Montana, the whole thing with him was getting that Super Bowl. His first Super Bowl was like, okay, this is it. Like, this is that guy. He now can continue his great career. And it's also little achievements that these players have for themselves. And Jake's obviously one of his achievements was to beat the Minnesota Vikings. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know he says he regrets this kind of, focusing on this over this. But at the end of the day, right, that was a great team win. No matter what way you look at it, it was a great team win. Our defense made key plays when they needed to. Our offense moved the ball. Came back in that game. You had great plays by T. Higgins where he stretched out and got a touchdown, right? It was a great team win. But at the end of the day, it also was, again, a great win for Jake Browning. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the revenge game narrative, right, at the end of the day. I mean, unless you, turn it into a selfish narrative and, you're oh, I can't run the ball here. I can't hand the ball off on the goal line because I need to be the guy that scores a touchdown because it needs to be about me. Then that's a problem. But he didn't do that. He was very upset and passionate about this game. And he treated it as, a revenge game, but he treated it a revenge game in the narrative that, I want to win at no matter what. And that's exactly what we need. We're right now on the cusp of the playoffs. We're 6th seed, okay? And as long as things go our way and things go correctly, we're going to be in the playoffs. We need a competitor out there who is fighting tooth and nail, trying to win every given week. Just because of the fact that, we lost Joe Burrow and our season has gone downhill a little bit. We need somebody out there who is trying his best, game in, game out, to put everything on the line. And that's what I want to see out of my quarterback. I don't want to see my quarterback sit there and be like, they cut me. Oh, okay, let me go out there and try my best. No, I want someone out there screaming, "You shouldn't have ever effing cut me," because now I know this guy's passionate, this guy wants to win, and as Mike Hilton says later in this article, he says that from a guy with experience like that, I know where he's coming from and how much that win meant to him. Again, we wanted to get that one for him, and that just rallies the team. Last week, it was a team win for more aspects than one. Again, as obviously the coming back together, everyone wants to win, but also because everyone wanted to win it for him. And that's more or less of a revenge game there, and more just of everyone coming together for one common goal. And they got that goal, and they achieved that goal. And that's a momentum booster, right? That's a huge momentum booster, especially now about to go into the playoffs when every one of the teams like, hey, we did this before, right? Remember when we came together and won this game? Well, let's come together and win now the Steelers game. Because we lost to the Steelers earlier this season. Let's prove it to the Steelers. Let's prove it that we're 0-4 in our division right now. 0-5 in our division right now. Well, 0-4. And now we can beat a divisional opponent. Let's prove it to them. Let's prove it to the Chiefs, who think that they're going to beat us without Joe Burrow. Let's prove it to the Chiefs. Let's prove it to the Browns, right? And then it just keeps that narrative going into the playoffs, where again, it's going to be a tough spot to play. Don't get me wrong, you're playing with a backup quarterback, but it's that idea as a team, you're all focused on one goal. You're all coming together to rally around the fact that, listen, we're going to prove it to the NFL. We're going to prove it to all these teams who are doubting us and aren't giving us credit and then aren't talking about how good we're playing. It's that mentality, right? And, especially with losing DJ Reader for a season, Poison Ivy for the season, you have to have something that gets you going right before the playoffs starts. Because, again, teams that go into the playoffs and don't have that, one thing that's sparking them together, a lot of times they fall apart. Right now, we have mentality pushing us together of this is Jake Browning's season. This is his season to go out there and show how good of a team we truly are. And there's 3 teams left. Again, Pittsburgh, Chiefs, and Browns. And we have to get the job done. We have to finish what we started. So again, I understand, his aspect of hey, listen, I don't want this to be all about me. And that's good. He's a good leader. He's a very, very good leader. He's not trying to be selfish. He's not trying to turn this into a Jake Browning show. He's trying to make this a team win and a team everything. And it's not just me. It's everyone together. That's what a leader does. They don't just make everything. They don't want the spotlight. They don't want all the spotlight on them. They want every single player on their team to be elevated and projected better than them because they want the best team possible. And that's what a leader does. And I have to give him full credit. And it goes to show, even though, he just started playing, actually starting in the NFL, he's already a great leader. He is. And that's what a team needs. That's what a team rallies behind. I promise you, when he says stuff like this, the team around him gets that momentum boost of that's our guy. That's our guy. Right? Because if he went out there in the media and talked about, oh yeah, man, it's great that we destroyed the Vikings. I stuck it to him, blah, blah. And went on this whole rant about him. Then yeah, it would have been the team, I wouldn't say they would have, had less respect for him. But they would have been okay, yeah, it's all Jake Browning. It's all Jake Browning, right? Instead, he's no, this is not all me. This game was not all me. This game was the team. And I regret not making it about the team. And the whole team now gets that momentum boost, and you need that before the playoffs. You need that before a Super Bowl run. So I honestly, again, I don't blame Jake Browning. And in no way do I blame him for, his passion about football. His passion about this game. But at the same time, keep that passion, Jake. Keep that passion moving forward for the rest of this year. For these last 3 games in the playoffs. Let's go. Hoo-day out.